now I can actually sit and do a live and not be moving around the whole entire time. Oh, I've got hat hair. I went to Costco earlier, which I'm happy about, and I got supplies from Costco. So now I need to do a little bit of tidying. To be completely transparent, the kitchen is a little bit disheveled right now because I'm doing a great... Hey, Poppy! I am so happy you're here. I was going to tell you. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to, like, actually really talk to you much at the store. I don't always do, like, streams at the store, but I thought it would be fun to change it up. But I wanted to properly welcome you. I hope you felt welcome. But I am tidying up my kitchen and about to make dinner. This is probably closer to what I usually do when I live stream. Either this or like walking around someplace in Japan. Although I cut back on wandering around a little bit because my phone was acting up. And I think it's because our service provider is like a little bit stingy. They don't like when you use like the unlimited data for real. They just say they have unlimited data, but they don't really like giving you unlimited data. Oh, thank you. I mean, I feel like it was neater before I put the hat on whilst it was wet, but you know, I'm enjoying it. I just recently started locks, so I'm really enjoying it, but every once in a while it has a mind of its own. I don't even know what I'm making for dinner, to be completely honest. I washed most of the dishes earlier, but I'm gonna wash the giant pot just in case I need that. Mainly, I stopped at Costco today to stock up on vegetables. But as I was trying to say earlier, if you saw that part of the stream or if it was audible, because Costco is always loud and crowded, and then the people there are like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it, so I felt like the best way to do it was to show it. But it's like when you go to Costco in Japan, I feel like you need to be like, when you're driving and you're just like, okay, let me watch what cars around me are doing to be safe or whatever. Like, people in Costco are there on a mission. And if you're in the way, like, they're going to be like, why are you in the center of the aisle? Like, please move. And then people will, like, queue for, like, important things that they really want. Like, hold on. This is like half the reason I went to Costco right here, because paper towels can be kind of like, they're not cost effective to get like out in Japan, like at my local grocery store. So it's more cost effective to get them at Costco. But people just go to like the toilet paper and the paper towels and they'll queue up, and it's like a whole fiasco. Yeah, it's still the same thing. Like, Costco is still Costco, but they have different products that I've never seen before. But they still have the hot dog and pizza stuff that they have in the U.S. If you're from the U.S., you're familiar. Like, Costco has like signature hot dog and pizza menu. Although in the U.S., I remember it being frozen yogurt as the dessert. So they have like hot dog, pizza, smoothies, soda, and frozen yogurts. But here, I think they have sodas, but they have like soft serve. Oh, thank you. That is such a kind thing to say. I can already tell you're good vibes. So I'm so glad that you came this way to this channel. But yeah, they have a different menu at Costco here. They have, yes, they do have free samples. But I think I've only tried them once. You know, Costco gets me with the free samples when I'm with my husband. Because when I'm shopping by myself, I'm like, all right, I have a list of things I need. I need dish soap, I need rice, I need paper towels, and I'm gonna try and get out of here as quickly as possible. And then when I shot with my husband, he's like, ooh, what are these things right here? and then I end up trying some random stuff or even getting stuff that I didn't plan on buying. But like if I'm shopping myself, I stick to the list most of the time. But today, I think the only really random thing I got was I got salmon jerky because I thought that maybe he would like that, because I've got like some other like snacks and stuff, but I thought maybe the salmon jerky would be like a fun snack to try for work. And for me, because like I'm really pushing my YouTube, I'm trying to get to the point where I monetize my YouTube channel and my YouTube can be a full-time job. So I'm not so much worried about snacks for myself. For me, I'm vegetarian, so I try to avoid eating any fish or like shrimp. But the thing is, like here in Japan, I feel like a lot of times it's like an added thing, like as flavor. Like there'll be like, what's the word? Dashi flakes or something that's like added to a dish for flavor. And even though it's like overall a vegetarian dish, sometimes you'll get something, I don't know, fish ingredients or meat ingredients by default, basically. But in general, no, I don't eat sardines or most like seafood and stuff like that. I try and stick with as plant-based as I can get, but I feel like in Japan that's kind of tricky. I feel like if we lived in Tokyo instead of like a couple hours away from Tokyo, it would be more convenient to eat vegan the way I did when I was in the States. But here, where I live, I feel like it's not super practical. Also, I've been wearing my glasses, which I don't need to see. I don't need the glasses to see, which is why like I'm suddenly wearing glasses. And this whole time, I've not been wearing glasses. I'm not wearing them for clout either. But I've noticed that when I spend hours on end editing at my computer, I will end up with a headache afterwards. And I don't want the headaches, so I'm thinking maybe if I try and wear my glasses, like my blue lens glasses, that will help with the headaches. So that's why I'm wearing glasses. If you put sardines in soybean oil with green chilies and ramen noodle soup, that's the only way I eat them. What? Like the cup noodles? Cup noodles? Is that how you do it? Oh my gosh. If you ever come to Japan, if you ever come this way, you gotta go to the Cup Noodle Museum in Yokohama. Okay. Maybe I'll tell my husband that trick, because he might try that. But I'm telling you, you have to visit the Cup Noodle Museum here, because they have so many different options and you can make your own custom cup noodle. I actually found one that was vegetarian. They have like, I think it's like soy sauce broth or something. And because I'm vegetarian, it's not really something that I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go try cup noodles. But it's very, very good. So I highly recommend, if you like cup noodles, to go to the Cup Noodle Museum in Yokohama. I really recommend it. If you want to see what it looked like, I don't think I have a full YouTube video showing the Cup Noodle Museum, but somewhere on my channel there's a YouTube short that shows the Cup Noodle Museum. But I really recommend it. We went with friends. It was fun. It wasn't actually that crowded. It was crowded, but like not like overwhelming to the point of not being fun. And I feel like the staff there was pretty chill too. Like, you know, like some places where it's way too crowded and then the staff is just like, oh my gosh. If one more person asks me where the restroom is, I'm gonna scream. Like, seriously. Like, everybody was chill. Nobody was like on that level yet. That's my refrigerator complaining that it doesn't want to be open anymore. This is the salmon jerky that I got. So, hopefully my hubby likes it. Should I put that? I'll probably put it. You're an introvert? I think for me, I'm an ambivert. If you're an introvert though, there's some places in Japan I recommend that you go and just like try to stay calm despite the crowds, because I feel like it's worth it. And then there's other places that I just feel like just swerve, like just completely avoid it. It's not worth it. Yes, my refrigerator complains all the time. It also does this. Let me see if I can flip the camera. Okay, stay close. My kitchen is a mess right now. I'm spring cleaning, so please don't mind me. I actually want to have some friends over in the summer, and I'm kind of like prepping for that because we really don't have storage in this house. So I really need to get rid of all the clutter that's in here. So don't judge me too hard. You heard Japan is the best place to go for an introvert? I don't know. I feel like it depends on the type of person you are. Like, if you're the type of person that likes your own space, but you like having people kind of like around you, like in the background, but not bothering you, and you like having some human interaction, but not to the point that you get overwhelmed, I feel like if you lived in Japan, you might start to feel lonely after a while. But if you just genuinely can't stand being around people, I feel like, I don't know. It's tricky. It depends on what you do and where you go. Because, like, vacationing here, I feel like there's good ways to find a mixture of both. But living here, unless you're bilingual, I feel like, for me, unless I actually seek out to communicate with my neighbors where I live now, I could probably go months without talking to them. And like maybe just having like minimal conversations. So I feel like it could start to become lonely. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I'm trying to say it from like an observation standpoint, like an objective standpoint, not a critical one. So if I'm not like coming across well, then let me know. But I don't know. That's what I think on that. Yes, I have a ton. I have a ton of tattoos. So a lot of times, like if I go to the onsens here, I'll go to the private onsen, cause it just eliminates the worry with all the tattoos. So typically, this is the point when I start making rice for dinner. And we are out of the main, like, regular rice that I have. But today, I got this. So I gotta figure out how to open it and then get out just enough rice to use. And then, I guess, seal it again. So that'll be fun. First, I'm gonna wash the rice cooker. it's a perfect place for you. Maybe so. I feel like it's one of those places that's kind of hard to describe or like, I don't know, put details out there, like a big picture detailed explanation of Japan. Because it's such a nuanced topic in my mind. You want a barbed wire tattoo across your wrist. I really, I've worked a lot of corporate jobs, so I've tried to keep most of my tattoos hidden. So like if I have my sleeves down, it's not super noticeable that I have more than 20 tattoos. But if I put my sleeves up, I chose to place this one kind of low on my wrist, and I feel like it's the most noticeable. But I wanted it there because it has a very personal meaning, and I wanted to be able to see it on a daily basis. But I still have had it, like the last time I worked in like a finance job, for example, like I worked at a bank, and nobody knew I had tattoos at all, because I would always wear them like covered up. Like with a blazer on, most people are not gonna, a blazer and a watch, people are not gonna, they're not gonna notice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I actually took that picture at the oldest hotel in the world. And that's the videos that just came out, the long videos that just came out on my channel, as well as the next video coming up this weekend. They're all at that location, at the oldest hotel in the world. Well, actually, I think the first video though is like the road trip to get there. Cause if you do like kind of like keeping to yourself and kind of like solo activities, I do think that is one thing I do enjoy here, is like going places like in the countryside. Cause for that video, I did a solo trip to Yamanashi, specifically because I wanted to film the video and show you guys. I saw the location on Instagram and I was like, there's no way. The oldest hotel in the world is in Japan and I've never heard of it or been there. Let's go. We gotta go. So that's why I ended up doing the trip, was specifically for the channel. But it was nice. It's peaceful. It's like in the countryside. It's quiet. The staff there are super, super nice. I think I spent half the video bigging up the staff. They were great. Uh-oh. Strange things are happening to this rice as I'm opening it. Oh, that's not too bad. As soon as I opened it, it just kind of shrunk down. A skeleton hand tattoo? That would be cool. Are you the type of person, Poppy, where your tattoos mean something to you, like a lot to you? Or are you the type of person where you get them for art or for fun? Because I know people that have them for both reasons. I'm specifically asking because, like, I feel like my tattoos mostly mean something, but there's a few that are more like fun. And then I have a friend, and I really love my friend's tattoos, and I complimented her, and I was asking her if they had deep meanings, and she said they're all, pretty much all, just for fun. Your hair is a little too uneven. I think you could probably start, even if it's a little uneven. I don't know what your hair is like, but for me, when I started mine, I just put them in twist, and then after that, just kind of like let them be a little bit. But if you don't mind like wearing hats or like maybe wigs while you wait for your hair to like grow out. That could be a way to do it. Also, like if you go to like an expert to install them, that could make it more streamlined. Hey, what's up? I'm making dinner today. Mac Daddy Def Jam is like a regular. Look at this bag of rice. Is this not the craziest thing you've ever seen? And it's heavy too. Like, you could like, you know, do a workout with it. Yeah, I feel like I can start my own restaurant. I don't think anyone's gonna want to like regularly patronize my restaurant because I would never have a consistent menu. You would definitely prefer them to mean something. The barbed wire tattoo across the wrist means something, but skeleton hand too is just for the look. Ah, okay. I feel like the same way, but I have at least one random tattoo. I don't think I can show you. I think it's on this arm. I don't know. I was drinking when I got it. That's a whole different story. Don't do that, please. Also, I love it that you guys are like greeting each other in the chat and being like friendly and all that. Like, I appreciate that. I love when it's good vibes, to be completely honest. Like, I try and keep it good vibes on my end, and then like when everybody reciprocates that, it's always a good day. And it makes things go faster. Like if I'm doing things like making dinner with my giant bag of rice, it just makes things easier. I'm washing the rice right now, and that's because I was told that you have to wash the rice before you prepare it. My better half can actually taste the difference, so. Feeding Loki rice for months. I don't know Rayon Mancho. Should I though? And Loki is my cat. Loki is a picky eater, so Loki would not eat the rice. Moxie, however, my white fluffy cat, would definitely eat the rice. In addition to her cat food, if we let her. Alright, the rice has started. Now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the bag and how I'm gonna store it. Like, I need some place to, like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Do I have, like, a clip or something? I feel like I need one of those sandwich clips, but I don't even think I have them. Like, I was not planning on it not having, like, some sort of zip seal. Yeah. I don't want to leave it sitting out, just, like, open either, because, like, I feel like as it's getting warmer, the bugs are increasing. So anytime you leave a door or window open, you get, like, 3 or 4 bugs come in. This morning I was working on my patio garden, and I had, like, a whole swarm of, like, I don't know, like, aphids or something come into my house. Check him out. You would absolutely love him. And I would love to see you on one of his live streams. Really? I mean, that would be cool, especially if he's open to having, like, people, like, guests on his stream. But to be completely honest, Poppy, I was never even planning to start streaming at all. I wasn't planning on it. Problem solved. I wasn't planning on live streaming, but I started realizing that 1 + 1 = 2 for my YouTube channel, and I am creating a lot of content. I'm spending a lot of time and effort on making content, but I'm still not monetized. And so I started thinking, like, what could get my hours up? Like, what is an easy, fairly low effort way to increase the hours I have, the watch time hours I have on my YouTube channel? And I'm like, the live streams. And I thought when I started doing the streams, it's gonna be easy. Like, I had even mapped it out on ChatGPT. Like, okay, if I can get this many people to watch the stream and live stream for this many days a week for this long, then bingo, money. But it still hasn't been that easy. But the nice thing about the live streams is it has connected me a lot more with the community of people that watch the videos. And I feel like oftentimes the people that watch the live streams are more open to comment, like how they feel or what they think or what they want to see. So I feel like it's improved my channel drastically just because I feel more connected to you guys. Because in my head, you guys are like part of the team. Like, you guys are part of the community. Like, I don't see it as like, oh, like, you know, I'm over here and then the subscribers over here or something. Like, to me, I see it as like a collaborative thing. Like, it's a community, you know? So I feel like it makes it more easy to connect with everybody when I stream. And then on top of that, one of the things I really, really was struggling with when I first started my channel was like being very nervous to talk to the camera. I'm not really naturally a shy person, but I feel like as soon as I take out my camera and point it at myself, I start thinking about, like, what am I going to say? What are people going to think? How am I going to feel afterwards? I just overthink everything. It's not even so much shyness. It's like, I guess, like a fear of perception, you know, because like people could perceive or assume however they want, and like once you put something out there, you're kind of allowing people to do that. So anyways, I feel like you guys help with that too. I told one of my favorite rappers I couldn't chat unless I was not that six now, but he said he couldn't make me mad because I didn't ask him to make me mad. Well, I think being a moderator, one, it requires a lot of trust on the creator's part, because they have to know that, like, you're gonna be like up to the task. And then the other thing is, I think being a mod could be quite stressful, because like I basically moderate my own streams. Like, I'm kind of like monitoring what's said in the chat, and then if someone says something really crazy, yeah, they're gonna get blocked or whatever. But sometimes people like might say something really rude or mean, and like as the moderator, then you're gonna be like sitting there kind of sifting through that or dealing with that like more directly. So it might be something that person didn't want to put on your shoulders. So it could be coming from a really good place. At least that's how I would see it. I'm gonna move the whole stream over. He took it kind of weird. You know, I feel like sometimes I'll say something, like maybe less, this happens less frequently on YouTube, because on YouTube, I'm kind of in a mindset of I need to kind of think before I speak, because people may or may not like have an idea of who I am as a person, or realize if I'm joking or not, or whatever. Obviously, Like, my content is not going to be for everybody. Some people are just not going to like it whatever way I present it. And that's okay. But I don't want to, like, actively, like, upset people. But I feel like in real life, I feel like I'm, like, maybe a little more sarcastic or have more of, like, a joking sense of humor sometimes. Or I'm just overly direct. Like, and I feel like that can make people feel, like, kind of like, huh, you know, and, like, I guess they would take something weird, too. So all that to say, Poppy, sometimes you kind of, like, can't predict how other people are going to take things, and if you're trying to be kind and polite and someone takes something the wrong way, I guess the best you can do is, like, explain your perspective and let them know, like, hey, I wasn't trying to be weird or hurt your feelings or whatever, but if they insist on being offended and you're not, like, trying to offend them, then I guess there's not much you can do. Well, I mean, there's a whole nother level to that as well, right? Because for me on this channel, more recently, once I started doing live streams, I noticed that I started having more kids, and I'm using the word kid loosely. When I say kid, I mean a person who's not 18 yet, which is like the legal age for being an adult in the US, which is where I'm from. So, I started having more kids on the channel, but this channel's not really designed for kids. And I'm not, like, how do I say? I'm happy to include everyone in the community, and I want it to be a safe space for everybody. But I think especially if I was, like, creating rap content, for example, I think I would be less likely to want to include kids in that, depending on what my topic was. You know what I mean? And I've said this before on this channel, like, I feel like when you are a kid, you think about, like, but I'm mature, I'm responsible, I can, you know, do for myself, like, so I'm good. Like, why is everyone babying me? Because, like, I already know what's up. But sometimes you just gotta, like, trust that, like, if an adult in your life, like your teachers, your parents, your coaches, somebody around you is saying, like, hey, watch out for this, or I wouldn't rush to do this, or whatever, sometimes you gotta trust them, you know? That is what I think on that. I love vegetables so much, and when I saw that Costco had Brussels sprouts today, it just made me feel so happy, because I really love Brussels sprouts. I love to cook them, like, in olive oil and saute them. They are chef's kiss that way. They're, like, one of my favorite vegetables when they're cooked like that. So that's what I'm going to make for the veggie. I still can't believe how many people were lined up for the pizza at Costco. Because it was just not only the cooked pizza, but then also, like, the ready-made pizza. People were really, really lined up for that. But there's pizza in Japan. Like, there's Domino's near my house, I think. And if not Domino's, there's another one. I don't know. There's pizza here, but people really were into the Costco pizza. But I've had some really unique pizza flavors in Japan. Like, I personally think pineapple goes on pizza. I like having pineapple on pizza, but I've been told by someone I know who is from France that pineapple does not, in fact, go on pizza. Potatoes do. And I've never ever thought of having potatoes on pizza. And then when I got showed, I was I was asking about it. My husband and I were asking this person, like, what does it look like if you have potatoes on a pizza? And it was like French fries on top of a pizza, which I thought was even more interesting because they just went for it. They put fries on it, but I was told it's really good. I just feel like it's gonna be a lot of calories. And I'll probably try anything potato-based as long as it doesn't have meat on it at least twice, just to see. These are vegan nuggets. Oh, okay. So that means you're a big fan of music in general. That's what it sounds like. What's your favorite type of music? And like, do you write yourself or like, I'm curious. You love music. That's awesome. But what kind? I'm seeing like a response to a message I sent like hours ago. Finally being responded to. It's too late. I'm talking about in my personal life. Trap, metal, rap, reggae. But you don't write? You have a diverse taste in music. I think I like all different types of music too. When I was a teenager, I listened to a lot of metal or like rock. So I'm talking about like Linkin Park, 3 Days Grace. I liked, what's those guys called? All American Rejects. I feel like they're more like pop rock. And then when I was in my 20s, I started liking country a little bit more. Not all country, but some country. Like I liked Sam Hunt, and I like Kane Brown. I also really like reggaeton. You went through a heavy metal phase. Actually, I was very surprised that here in Japan, Bring Me the Horizon is pretty well known. Like, I was seeing, like, the band on, like, billboards in Tokyo, which really surprised me, because I don't really feel like they're that well known in the U.S. Like, if I bring them up, you know, people are like, who's Bring Me the Horizon? What's that? But Bring Me the Horizon did a collaboration with, they did a collaboration with Baby Metal, which is a Japanese girl group, which is like a metal group. Oh, Falling in Reverse. I know them. Or at least I used to listen to them. I haven't listened to them in a long time, so I probably couldn't bring up any songs. But the name is 100% familiar. Really? For me, I think that was Linkin Park. I always really loved Chester Bennington's voice. Because I feel like there's a lot of heart and a lot of, like, emotion in his voice. But lately, I think I've been listening to a lot more Japanese music, mainly because I am trying to study. And so sometimes listening to music in Japanese helps me learn new words or at least contextualize words. So sometimes I'll listen to music in Japanese and then try and see if I can grasp the overall meaning, like what they're talking about. That's how I learned the word natsukashi, which means nostalgic in Japanese. And I feel like that is the most random word I know in Japanese. Like, people will be like, how do you know that? Because I listen to music. I can't remember what the guy's name is. There's a guy. He's a singer, and I'm pretty sure he's not Japanese. But he sings Japanese covers of music, and it's a Japanese cover of an American song. You loved his tattoos, but he blacked them out. And that was a mood kill. I mean, I think... Ooh. Would I ever black out my tattoos? I don't think so. I think there's maybe one or two I would consider covering up and just like changing entirely. But blacking out, I don't think so. No deal. Suga from BTS, right? I actually really love K-pop. Or at least I used to. I feel like it's changing a little bit, like more lately. But I listen to Blackpink and BTS the most. But I also kind of like New Jeans. I feel like they have a fun vibe. So I like some of their stuff. August D. I don't really know him. But I don't listen to a lot of rap, so I think that could be part of it. Like, I definitely wouldn't say I listen to no rap, but I don't listen to a lot of it. Like, I know everybody is really, really into, like, Kendrick right now, and, like, for me, I know. I just upset some people with that. But he's just not my jam, you know what I mean? Like, I get the hype around, like, Not Like Us. Like, I can see why people really enjoy that specific song, but he's not really gonna be one of my favorite artists. I never started the Nuggets. Oh, okay. Look at you schooling me up. I didn't know that he changed his name. So, by changing his name, is that basically he did like a rebrand? He changed his sound and changed his look and changed his name so he can pursue a different style of music? I think sometimes when it comes to music and people changing their style or like the way that they always used to create, I feel like it can kind of like make people feel a bit weird about their stuff, and like people don't always follow along with the new stuff. Yeah. I feel like I felt that way about Linkin Park's last couple albums that they did before Chester Bennington passed away. Rest in peace to Chester Bennington. Man, he was like the soundtrack of my teenage years, I feel like. But I think one of my favorite Linkin Park songs now as an adult is Heavy. because when my dad died, that song was like, I think it had just come out. And, or it came out around the same time. And I feel like that song just really resonated a lot. But I think that's the power of, like, music and art in general, because, like, even if someone doesn't, like, get what you're saying or what you're talking about, people can sometimes get the vibe, get the feeling, and understand. Yes. So I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really super into to rap, but I know a little bit about his music. I did listen to some of it. I used to. I used to a lot. I think they changed writers. They changed. There was an issue. There's a controversy. Why can I not say that word? Controversy. And then they changed writers after the controversy. And after they changed writers, the humor changed. And I just couldn't really follow it the same way. But I was really into it for maybe a year or two. I really, really enjoyed the show. But I think... I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like Rick and Morty is humor for people who are cynical and maybe overthink things a lot. But I feel like it's, how do I say, when you take it at face value at comedy, then it can be quite funny, or it was, like, before they changed writers. When I can't vouch for once they changed writers. But I also feel like, and I've said this before on the channel, you've got to be very careful with what you consume. And, like, some of the ideas or thoughts that they present are very, very dark. If you're a fan, you know what I'm talking about. Some of the humor on that show starts to walk a very fine line between this is funny and this is, like, a little bit on the line or crossing the line. Yeah. Yeah. But I also think Rick and Morty was another show that I watched a lot around the time I lost my dad. Because my dad passed away in, I want to say, 2017. Time moves weird when you lose someone who's really important to you, to be completely honest. But what I was going to say about that is, like, I feel like the show kind of, thank you, the show kind of, like, makes such a joke out of, like, the things that stress us out as humans in life, the things that shouldn't be funny, but, like, that keep us awake at night. I feel like it did help me deal with just, I don't know, like, all of the feelings that come with losing someone really important to you. Yeah, we always got lurkers. And honestly, the other thing is sometimes, and I say lurkers with love. Lurk all you want. You're increasing my watch time. But sometimes the lurkers are people I know, and they are watching, and they're busy or something, and they just, like, tune in because I'm streaming and they want to support. And they're too busy or whatever, they can't talk, but they just leave it running in the background. So if someone's like, if someone is just sitting in the background, hanging out, then I think there's a possibility it could be somebody that I know. You crack me up. Reveal yourself. It reminds me of, this is like very random and very niche. So if you don't get the reference, then like it's okay. But there was this show. There was a couple shows, like dating shows from the UK that I used to watch, like when I was in college. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a really good thing, actually. I heard it's antibacterial and it's healthy for you. I mean, I don't know about like other products that you could use alongside with it. I am not in the medical field. I don't have the medical credentials to tell you yes or no if that's a good idea, but I have heard that using coconut oil for your teeth is really good for your teeth. So sometimes I rinse with coconut oil. So, but I'm not a dentist, not a medical professional. Sometimes people will ask me about like life stuff, and it's like, I can tell you my opinion, I can tell you what I would do or I wouldn't do up until a certain point, but you know, if it's something that I don't have a like degree or license or like specify a credential, then even like I'm a certified personal trainer, so technically I could probably offer fitness advice, but at the same time, like, if you're watching and I don't know you personally and I don't know if you've had any injuries in the past, or maybe you have like some, you know, health issue, like some people who've had like, you know, they've been dehydrated and like, you know, oh, I was told I'm random, or you're being told you're random. Who's random, me or you? I know I'm random. But if you're being told you're random, maybe we're on the same vibe. But yeah, if it comes to like something like, you know, someone's gonna do that could impact their health, especially permanently, whether it's mental or physical or spiritual, I feel like that's kind of more of a one-on-one conversation, typically speaking, than on YouTube most of the time. Oh, okay. You were told that you were random. Definitely, please be careful, because, like, you know, I've said this before on this channel, and I will say it again. For my channel, I try and keep this a safe space. I try not to, I guess, like, bring up provocative topics that, like, create tension, because I want people to be able to be safe and comfortable here. I have opinions on a lot of things, which are strong opinions, but this is not a debate channel. But I'll be honest with people if they ask up until a point. You know what I mean? I gotta keep it diplomatic over here. This is like kind of more like, I guess I'm treating it more like a business than like my personal thing, kind of. You know what I mean? But at the same time, this is YouTube. So like everything that you know about people or everything that you've seen from interactions, just like on YouTube, on Reddit, on different socials, even the person that you're in communication with, it's the internet. So please be careful, guys. Like, sometimes, like, you may think somebody is one way, and then you find out, unfortunately, that they are not. So, especially for the minors who are on this channel, like, please exercise caution and think about safety. I know I sound like your big sis, but like I just want everybody to be careful and think about that. Going back to what you said, Poppy. It could be because of your handle. Are you always Poppy on your social media? Because to me, Poppy Flower, my first thought was, oh, that's a girly name. In a good way. But nerd life. I think I've seen worse. I think I've definitely seen worse when it comes to tattoos. Well, the rice is done. We've been hanging out until the rice finished. That's good. Let me see if the veggies are done. Not really. Yeah, we got a few more minutes on the veggies, so we can keep hanging out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna put away the Brussels sprouts because I'm done with those for now. Before the fridge starts yelling at me, I'm gonna close it. I don't know why I'm so hungry. Let me see. I mean, to me, it looks girly. But then sometimes other people don't, I don't know, other people don't always know, you know, unless you tell them, you know? Because, for example, right, the name June in Japan is occasionally used as a boy's name. Like, I know of a couple people, men, who go by the name June. And, like, even, what is it? Rachel and June's Adventures, their Japan channel. The guy's name is June. But, like, in the U.S., like, where I grew up, like, June is, like, usually, like, the month name. So, like, they're spelled differently. But June is usually, like, a girl's name. So, sometimes people don't always, like, get the context for whatever the name that you have or style that you have. And sometimes that can be a cultural difference, or the other person is just not, I don't know, socially aware. Could be that. But if it's like a cultural difference, then, like, at this point, like, I've started to get used to some of the naming patterns here in Japan. So usually if someone tells me, like, a name of a person that they know who's Japanese, I'll think of, like, oh yeah, this is probably a girl's name or a boy's name based on, like, my experience. But yeah, I don't always get it right. That's why you gotta, like, tell people if they're not with it. But it does seem like based on your handle that you like flowers. And you have a hibiscus, no? For your flower? Are poppies your favorite flower in general? I'm trying not to sneeze because there's pepper in the air here. At this point, since it's early spring, the poppies here in Japan are starting to bloom. But they're like the orange ones. Maybe I can, like, find a photo of them the next time I go outside and upload it so you guys can see them. They're very, very pretty. And I've heard a lot of people talk about, like, the time of year that they should visit Japan, and usually it's like I should visit during, like, sakura season, or, like, maybe I should visit in the fall because it's going to be nice weather. But like Japan has a lot of different like plants that are like seasonal. Like they have hydrangeas, which are like really, really pretty. They have azaleas. Man, sometimes you just gotta ignore people, like, you know? Cause I feel like some people troll for sport, you know? And if you operate through life with the mentality of like antagonizing other people as your method of entertainment, because I'm thinking like based on like the photo that we're talking about, let's keep it PG. Let's keep it PG. But yeah, I think sometimes people would be kind of like just trolling or antagonizing for fun or for entertainment. Sometimes people try to do that on this channel, but they end up getting blocked pretty quickly. But I just wonder when people do that, like, is that like your hobby? Like, you don't have anything productive to do, you know? It just makes me wonder, you know? Maybe that's the fact that like a lot of my family is from the South, so like my mindset is just like, oh, bless your heart, like bless your heart. Pink poppy flower means compassion, platonic love, and spiritual connection. Oh, wow. That is a really beautiful meaning. I'm so glad I asked. That's such a beautiful meaning. I heard, so, like the person that you know who has the nerd tattoo, I feel like I can be a bit of a nerd, but not like the Rick Sanchez nerd. I wouldn't, anytime, I wouldn't try to build a portal to like, what is it? Dimension C13 or whatever it is that they have the portal gun for. Yeah, wouldn't be me. But when it comes to like English literature, like Shakespeare or Jane Austen, I might be able to have a nerdy conversation with somebody. But the reason I bring it up is a very specific reason. Like back in the Bridgerton, Jane Austen, so like Pride and Prejudice days, people used to communicate with flowers. So they would give different flowers to mean different things. And like the colors of the flowers and the type of flowers would mean different things. I don't know all of the like details for them, but like I've seen like little like charts for it, and it's so interesting. Like you could kind of like tell somebody a whole like message by just giving them flowers, allegedly. So I think that's very interesting. Well, if you think so, I will make a memo. Usually when people make recommendations, I memo them. Some people have commented on the channel like different things that they want to share, and I pretty much always look up the person or topic that they share. But I can't promise to have the same opinion on it. You know what I mean? But I will check it out. I'm trying to write with gel pen, and it's making a mess. Got it. I wrote myself a memo. Where did I put the lid? Okay. We'll put the lid back on this blue gel pen before it dries out. Real macho. is a reggae singer. Oh, that's cool. I feel like the regulars on this channel, like I recognize their usernames, their style of communication. So like if someone who's a regular pops up, I'm always happy to see them, because they're always good vibes. And that's something I really, really appreciate about having a YouTube channel, and something I wasn't expecting about it is how much fun it is to like connect with people like day after day and actually learn more about you guys, not just me talking, you know? Like I actually find like if I make long videos on the channel, it's harder to make them sometimes because like I'm not really like talking with you guys directly. But I think live streaming has made that easier because if I go someplace, then I just like think of like what I would want to tell you guys if you guys were like right there with me, and then I try and like tell you guys that way. So it's kind of like made me feel like more mindful of that sort of thing. I think people always want to, or people should, let me correct. I think people should think about the ages of their viewers. Not just for the safety of the viewer, but also for the safety of themselves. Because if I am doing a live stream and somebody joins the stream and tells me, because I will not know unless the person tells me, but if that person tells me that they are a minor, I'm definitely going to talk with them differently than I would talk with an adult. Does that make sense? Because like when you are a minor, you only know as much about life as that you've experienced at that age. And I feel like adults have more responsibility because they are a lot older. So they should be thinking from the standpoint of looking out for those who are younger based on their age. And there's responsibility that comes with being an adult. Oh, okay. I think also sometimes people are like nosy. You know what I mean? Like especially if they see somebody commenting a lot, or like they start getting curious based on like whatever stories or experiences that you've told. I had one time I was doing a live stream and this person started like telling stories, like a lot of stories, like talking about the expensive car they have, the different countries they've been to, and like based on the picture that they were creating for everybody who was tuning into the live stream, you would think this person is either pretty like older, so like they've had time to go to all these places based on maybe work or something, or they were very, very wealthy. And I think they were trying to like put it into the chat, like, I've got money, everybody, you know? And that started to annoy everybody else in the chat, so I had to tell everybody to be nice to them. So sometimes I feel like people are just kind of like curious based on the information that is shared. But again, that's part of why I was saying, like, be careful the information that you share, because, you know, some people, I don't know, it's the internet, you know? And also, I feel like with age, like, people don't always get it right. People often get it wrong, you know? Like, I've had a lot of people recently in my real life think I'm a kid, which is incorrect. I'm not a kid. But some people still think that I'm like 15 years old, which completely baffles me. I don't understand, you know? So sometimes people just don't have, I don't know, maybe they have like a number in their head, or uh-oh, I do not want to burn these. The number thought made me realize these have been cooking for a while. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people just get the age or the number wrong. But I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say on this stream. I actually need to get back to editing, and I finally finished cooking. The rice and nuggets are not really much to see because they're just rice and nuggets, so it's not that exciting. But the Brussels sprouts are done. I put a lot of seasoning on them. So yeah, that is dinner done and dusted, and a very good conversation. Special thanks to Poppy Flower and also Mac Daddy Death Jam, my regulars now, especially because you're new. So yeah, I appreciate it. It's been fun hanging out. Hopefully we can do another live stream and hang out, and I can learn a little bit more about you guys and catch up on what's going on. But for now, I'm gonna head out. So bye. See you later.